the top of the list as well. How safe is it for us to do this? But how are we going to protect us when it comes, to being accosted or, being approached by somebody that wants to harm us? And we have international personal safety expert that's going to speak to us this morning on what to do and how to act. And ACT is an acronym, and we'll want to find out what ACT is all about when we speak to Kelee Arrowsmith in connection with this, should we say, talk of hers that she has all around, and indeed very mindful of the attacks of people that has already happened as well. So this is something that, is necessary to take into consideration, to listen to the interview and also to share the information that we'll be gaining from Kelee this morning and share it with others as well, and maybe find out if she's having, talks in and around Cape Town where we can empower ourselves as women, and not just women, but men as well. And I think the safety of children just as well, thinking of that, and especially the fact that moms are still at work when school closes its doors for year end, and what to do and how to go about it to look after their safety as well. So when we have Kelee, we'll talk about it, but let's go for a short musical interlude. We'll be back right after this, and then after Kelee, we're definitely speaking about that is the Hafsa bint Umar Quran Institute. They opened a bit of a misunderstanding there on my part. I need to still, do our read from the inspiration that is unleashed, the powerful mighty Allah within you. And this one says, success, and speaking about the power of the mind, that success on the outside begins with success on the inside. By changing our thoughts, we change our minds. We must not allow our mental muscle to become lazy and flabby, and the mind is like any other muscle in the body. Use it or lose it, and if you want to strengthen the muscle of our arms, we must train them. To keep our bodies fit, we must exercise or exert pressure on all our muscles, and reading and contemplating strains the muscle of the mind, and we experience the wonders this goal-striving mechanism can achieve. And the power that Almighty Allah has blessed us with will attract all that we desire in life. We must take care of our mind and take the time to train it to focus on the good in life. The price of success is to take responsibility for every one of our thoughts. To liberate our minds, we must first be able to harness them and to direct total focus on the current task. And the moment we focus on our mind, on our single purpose, extraordinary gifts will appear in life. The mind has power that is sharper than a laser. And when we concentrate and focus on a burning desire, we will attract that desire. When we concentrate the mind's power on definite, meaningful objects, we will, inshallah, ignite the flames of our personal potential and produce outstanding results. Jalaluddin Rumi, rahimahullah, said, freedom depends on the purity of the mind. May Allah grant us purity of the mind at all times. Ameen. And with that, we go for ad. Stay tuned.
The Voice of the Cape, 91.3 FM stereo.
Quick, do you know how long I've been timing this car? Come on, start.
Oh no, there's the siren.
Meneer, stand fast. How did you catch us? Because there's a tracker in the car.
I thought you're the #1 hijacker.
I never knew the car had a tracker.
Why are you so sad?
Because they bought it by House of Rand.
House of Rand monitor your vehicle easily on your cell phone or PC with our latest tracking device from only 99 Rand per month. Call House of Rand on 021 637 9024.
This is an emergency appeal. Across Yemen, people are facing famine. In Gaza, families are suffering from the blockade. In East Africa, children are facing starvation. And across Syria, millions have been broken by 8 devastating years of war. Time's running out. These people need you. They need emergency food, water, and medical relief. You have the power to save lives. Because without these basic things, more people will die. Please, save a life now. Donate to Islamic Relief.
At To Your Health, we pride ourselves in providing our clients with clinical and professional health services by qualified, courteous, and well-informed staff. We specialize in live blood analysis, which helps to enhance and improve your health. We also stock a wide range of health products. So whatever your health requirement, call us on 021 671 2469 for a free consultation with Ashraf. For your convenience, To Your Health is open 7 days a week.
Lappies has extended our Kwai sale for the entire month of November. We are selling all fabric for only R9.99 per meter. We have a wide range of fabrics, amongst others, denims, lace, twirls, chiffons, and it's all selling at only R9.99 per meter. Zips selling at 99 cents each, and trims selling at cost price. Remember, this Kwai sale is now on and ends on the 30th of November. Find us at number 2 Victoria Road, Woodstock, or call us on 021-205-9625. Kwai Lappies, Kwai prices.
Kwai prices! Kwai Lappies!
Join one of Cash and Carry for our 31st anniversary sale. All gold tomato sauce 700ml. Mrs. Paul's chutney 470 gram. Nola mayonnaise 750 gram combo deal for only 60 rand. Kellogg's cornflakes 1 kg for only 40 rand. Baker salty cracks 200 gram, 3 for only 50 rand. Handy Andy Sunlight Liquid Domestos 750ml combo deal for only 65 rand. Snow Soft toilet paper 2 ply 18s for only 70 rand. Prices valid till 4th December 2019. One of Cash and Carry, where you get more for less.
Are you tired of shaving or waxing and want more permanent hair reduction? Well, Smart Laser offers pain-free and affordable laser hair removal, and we have the best diode laser technology for more effective results. Take advantage of our underarm laser hair removal promotion at the ridiculously low price of 99 Rand per session. Yes, only 99 Rand. Visit any of our 6 branches, or for more information, contact Smart Laser on 021-205-0786. That's 021-205-0786.
Live from Cape Town, this is the Voice of the Cape, 91.3 FM.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Good morning, a warm welcome to TNM Express. Host Aisha Lata and Davda Dixon Mohammed pressing all the right buttons. This morning we have our special guest in studio, international personal safety expert, and that is Kelee Arrowsmith. Kelee, good morning to you and a warm welcome.
Good morning.
Lovely to have you in studio with us this morning, and I see that you regularly flown across the globe, but your personal passion lies with getting the word into schools, basically, speaking about safety as well. And I've mentioned earlier on, Cape Town, a great holiday destination, and the fact that we're having the longest summer days and people getting home from work thinking we still have 2.5 hours or 3 hours of sunshine. How can I best make use of it? But also not really taking note of their safety when walking the dogs, or even, just taking a walk in the park or wherever they go. So, when we speak about ACT, what does it stand for? It's an acronym, obviously, and the establishment of this personal safety program that you have, how did it all come about?
Okay, so that's quite a long story. So ACT originally stood for, I guess it stands for Advanced Conflict Training.
Okay.
And as it developed, it started probably in real life about 30 years ago. I lived in the States. I used to fight for money, so I fought professionally. And I retired when I was 30 from that, and I got into repossession, which is you buy something, you don't pay for it, and I pick it up.
Okay.
But it was a very professional company I worked for. And one day I went to pick up a big screen TV from this really large lady. I've got a 6th Dan in different styles and a 5th Dan in that style. So I've always felt very confident. And she basically picked me up and threw me down the stairs.
Are you serious?
And I kind of bounced down and lay there, and I thought, what could I have done differently? I mean, all of my martial arts, all of my self-defense just didn't help me at all, because the context was so different.
Yes.
I was used to standing in front of somebody with a white suit on and a belt, and there was a referee, and that's where it kind of germinated. And it was a lot more physical in the beginning. And when I came back to South Africa about 22 years ago, I was quite shocked at the crime. And bringing that experience in from this large lady just picking me up and throwing me down the stairs, not understanding what a bad guy looks like, not understanding who the bad guy is. And then my granddaughter arrived in Cape Town 19 years ago. She basically, I ended up with her. And then I had responsibility for this little creature in this violent place that I wasn't used to. And that's really where ACT germinated, further from, being thrown down the stairs.
Indeed. So is it very much different to self-defense?
It's completely different. When one thinks of self-defense, and I think self-defense is very good for children. I think it gives them a lot of good qualities, gives them confidence. It uses both sides of their brain. It's got a lot of very good qualities. It also gives them self-discipline. But personal safety is totally different in that self-defense prepares you to wait for the attack.
Yes.
Okay? Personal safety teaches you to disengage the moment you recognize an impending attack. So, a lot of the self-defense guy goes, run away when there's a knife. But when the knife is out, it's normally already too late. You're already in the problem. So I do a lot of training where it's more about recognizing a situation as it develops or before it develops. My biggest passion really is about teaching children to be safe because I don't think parents know where to start.
Indeed, and we're looking at the very bad habits that children currently have with their cell phones and their head, the ear pieces inside the ear, walking, and not very alert of their surroundings when walking or when doing things.
Well, it's not only children. If you watch adults driving, I think that's probably where they get a lot of their example. But yes, we have a shocking statistic in South Africa. And that is 1 in 3 children are sexually molested by the time they're 18. And it's because nobody knows how to stop it. And I really think that training of children, and I'm not talking about physical training, I'm talking about simple things that parents can start doing with children from the age of 3 or 4, can really stand them in good stead. And it's something that the parent can build on as the child gets older. For example, do you have children?
Yes, I do.
Okay, how old are they?
They're adults, but I have grandchildren as well.
Grandchildren, okay, that's a good place to start. So if you got a question, Granny, what does a bad guy look like?
Yes.
So how would you answer that question?
How would I answer that question?
I'm not putting you on the spot. I'm just trying to give you an example of a different way of thinking.
You can't really describe a bad guy because you don't know what goes on in people's mind. It can be somebody, that can even be a bad guy. So something might just go wrong in their minds and they become a bad guy, isn't it? So it's not your physical appearance that makes you a bad guy always.
You are spot on. And so originally, years ago, it used to be stranger danger.
Yes.
And then people started to realize that the people molesting their children are not strangers. They're somebody in the family, they're a friend of the family, they're a teacher, they're somebody that's trusted by the family. And so what I realized was, this question actually came from my granddaughter. Granny, what does a bad guy look like? And I was totally stumped. And I gave her a piece of paper and a pen and I asked her to draw a bad guy for me because I needed some time to think about this.
Yes.
And this rather squiggly thing came out and I said to her, sweetie, what is that? And she said, Granny, it's Voldemort. And then it hit me that the difference between me and Voldemort is intent. So bad guys are about intent. And unfortunately, we can't see intention.
Yes.
Okay? Same as you can't see what's inside somebody's mind. But you can set boundaries. So what is a boundary? And it's kind of a funny way to start, but a boundary is like a wall. A wall is a good way to describe it to a child because a wall is there to keep us safe. A door is a good boundary because we can open it and let safe people in. So I really don't believe in teaching children scary stuff. I think it's really about talking about safety. So how do we keep ourselves safe? Boundaries like a distance boundary. So what's a safe distance? I can see you have a question.
Yes, Kelee, so just looking at the question that you've asked, and you speak about boundaries, but obviously, you've listened to your granddaughter, and it's important to listen to have their perspective and see what it is that they think and how they would think. So when they tell you something, they obviously, act on their instinct as well, which is so important.
Yes. We are really programmed to be victims.
Yes.
Unfortunately. You can do a little experiment with your grandchildren. Go, knock, knock. And they will automatically go, who's there?
Yes.
Just the same as if somebody walked up to you in the street and goes, excuse me, can you tell me what the time is? So that's the way most people get mugged. Okay? Instead of setting a distance boundary or a similar boundary. So I've one of my boundaries is I don't allow people within a certain distance. Obviously, people I know, it's different.
Yes.
So my boundaries with different types of people are different. Boundaries with people they don't know. Boundaries with people they don't know, but people they know but don't yet trust. Boundaries with people they know and now trust, and then obviously intimate boundaries.
Yes.
So I'll ask the person to stop, and if the person doesn't stop, they're a bad guy, because that's not normal.
Yes.
If I came to you and said, excuse me, can you tell me what the time is? And you go, yes, I'll help you, but just stop right there. And I kept coming. Obviously, I would have bad intent. So, and the more you develop that thought about, it's what the person is intending to do and how they push your boundaries, the easier it is for you to start setting boundaries. I don't know if that's making any sense.
It does make a lot of sense, because we're also looking at, like you've mentioned now, setting boundaries, but also being, for instance, in a classroom situation where you have so many peers within the class, but it doesn't mean that everybody is your friend, because you're looking at bullying happening in schools, in classrooms as well.
So another thing, we don't really teach our children how to talk to us, especially as moms. So I've got this little, one of the things that I do with the kids is I'll have them draw the outline of their hand.
Yes.
And then we'll start with the little finger and we'll go, okay, in that little finger, write the person's name that you would tell if you had a big problem. And it's almost never mommy. Okay, which was quite a shock. Mommy normally comes third, maybe second, maybe fourth, because as moms, we're so busy. We've got careers, and we sit in the traffic, and then we check homework, and so, Mommy, I've got okay, I don't have time for that now. I've got to make dinner.
Only, yes.
Yeah, and so it's important for the child, number one, to understand who they can speak with. So I'll go through the fingers, and it's okay if mommy's number 3. And once we've gone through the names, so maybe somebody at school that they can talk to, and not just teacher, it must be a teacher's name or a counselor's name that they can speak to. And then what I'll do is I'll talk to them and say, if you need to talk to mommy about an emergency, about something that's bad that you can't control or don't know how to deal with, this is how you do it. Let's role play. So the other thing is that we need to role play this with our kids. So then I'll be the child and I'll go, mommy, 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 mommy. That's what the kids do because we don't listen. And then I'll go, okay, let's do it differently. Mommy, I have something really important. Can you stop and listen? So we'll use very specific words, and then I'll let the child role play that.
Yes. I think it's extremely important and coming down to the child's level, and this is all about parenting as well, getting to know your child, on a more personal level as well. And as you've mentioned there, Kelee, it's like lots of people and parents currently working as well, so it makes it a bit difficult as well. So that trust, like the child wouldn't know, can I trust my mom? Is she going to do something? Is she going to act upon, what is bothering me?
The downside to it is kids think everything's emergency.
Yes.
So we need to work with them so that they can understand the difference between a real emergency when they need to talk to us and something that can wait till the dinner table.
And this is the example of the cell phone. You know, when you have a conversation with somebody and the child comes for your attention, you say, I'm having a conversation with someone. But when the phone rings, I ask you to excuse me, can I answer my phone call? So always more important.
We're programmed. And we need to unprogram ourselves because the bad guys use that programming against us. They use so I'll give you another example. 52% of hijackings, approximately, happen at our front gates. Why is that? Well, it's because that's when we are at our most comfortable. We've had a really tough day, or we're leaving for work and we're thinking about the tough day and the traffic and all the nonsense ahead. So we probably are doing a last quick check on our phones if we do the legal thing before we get onto the road, or if we do the illegal thing, we're busy on our phones. So we're not paying attention. So how easy is it for them to just pull in behind us? In a lot of the classes that I do, what I'll do is I'll get a group of people together and I'll put them into gangs, and I'll go, okay, we're going to change what we do, we're going to become criminals, and I give them 5 minutes to plan a very specific type of crime, and they come up with the most amazing ideas. And if people would just take 5 minutes a day to plan their safety the way a criminal plans the crime, it would be completely different. And I think, that's one of the things I love about ACT Personal Safety is that you can do a 2 or a 3 hour session with us and you completely think about it differently.
Kelee, are you having workshops now prior to December holidays?
I've got my last one today, in fact, this afternoon.
Okay. Are there still place for anyone if they wish to attend?
No. Unfortunately, we very seldom do open workshops.
Okay.
People are strange. Greta from Bertie's Dog Food sponsored a free workshop. Okay, and we advertised it, and I think we had maybe 10 people. So we focus on corporate. We focus on groups that, it's during your work day, so you have to go.
Yes.
And, a lot of people look for excuse, well, I'm busy. And then when they do it, they're like, oh, my goodness, I wish I had have done this before. It just totally changes the way they think.
So for those listening in today, if they, want to organize a workshop with you, if we're in the new year, will you be able to share some details with us? Do you have a website?
Yes, certainly.
With us.
Okay. It's it's personalsafety.co.za. Or you can contact the office and speak to Taryn. Taryn does all the bookings.
Okay.
The office number, can I give it?
Yes, please.
Okay, 021 788 1790.
And the duration for the workshops?
It depends on what you want.
Okay.
So personal safety we can do in about 2 hours. I like a little more.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of very good questions that come out of it. I would say 2 to 3 hours is optimal.
Awesome. So, and are you on Facebook, social media?
Yes.
There we go. So is it also personal safety?
Yes.
There we go. So
I think Facebook is ACT Personal Safety.
Okay, and I think our listeners can actually go to Facebook just to check what it is all about, and especially for schools to make contact with you for the new year as well.
And I do lots of tips, but it's not stuff that I pass on. So one of my pet peeves is there's a lot of safety tips that are passed on. Like, for example, put your keys between your fingers and punch. Well, it doesn't work. You end up breaking your fingers. It's stuff that I do myself. How to use your pepper spray correctly, how car jamming works. I've got a little video on that. Lots of, and especially kiddie tips, like how to work with your kids.
So you have this on your Facebook page, yes?
On the Facebook page, yes.
There we go. Kelee Arrowsmith, thank you so much for being with us this morning, sharing this, I think it's just an inspiration, and to think about our safety, like you said, like somebody plans to do something wrong, you plan your own safety as well, and especially that of your families too. Don't always think that because you have all those remotes that, you're safe enough.
They're not going to save you.
Indeed. Thank you you so much. All the best.
Thank
Have
you,
a
ma'am.
great weekend.
Thank you.
Bye.
You too. Bye-bye.